Provo, Utah. This is the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast with your hosts, Joseph DeGolier and Caleb Schweitz. This is Ultima Final Fantasy.
Welcome to another episode of Ultima Final Fantasy, the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast. I am your host, Caleb.
I'm your other host, Joe.
And today, we are going to be talking about the midnight release of Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, we got a little thingy.
We got a little thing, yeah. That's going to be our discussion segment. We went to the release. Neither of us purchased the game, since a very wonderful listener is going to do so for us, as you guys recall from earlier in the year when we invited
Troy Kavanaugh.
Our good friend Troy on, and he did a little quiz tournament style thing between Joe and I, and sent off a hog version of Final Fantasy 15. But I mean, I don't really feel too bad that I haven't played 15 yet, because I haven't had time to play 15. And when I don't have time, Joe definitely doesn't have time.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
At least in this case.
That assessment. Well, I'll be honest, say one thing, that I'm not going to touch 15 until I beat Revenant Wings, and I have not beat Revenant Wings yet.
Really? Where are you in Revenant Wings? He asked as if he didn't know.
Fucking place I was before. And Shinru was kind enough to give me a very, very step-by-step guide to beating the final boss of Revenant Wings, which is, of course, what I've been stuck on. But his plan, as well as yours, Schweiss, both require me to have the summon Bahamut,
Right.
who I can't get because that level is too hard. The one that it takes to get that Esper. So I'm kind of fucked. And I just don't know what to do. I don't know if on the other fight the shit levels up with you like it does in the final fight. So I'm wondering if I can level to a place where that section of the game is easier. But I don't know, Schweiss.
Yeah. I mean, all I can really say is
Ouch.
to the whole situation, because it is a pain. It is a pain, but I did all of the extra ones except for 2, and then started level grinding in Midlight Steep.
Dude, I don't know how the fuck you did the extra ones.
I
can't fucking do the top 3 on Tamaj's list of activities.
Are any of them summon fights on those top 3?
Summon fights?
Yeah, where you fight Espers.
I don't... Maybe? I have no idea. Why?
Because you need the summons. They just get better and better. They make it easier. Although I did them in order, so maybe not. I mean, I just grabbed whatever was next on his list and just plowed through them. The Xerath one...
Well, I got one where I'm supposed to take care of 3 guys that are randomly on the map with, like, little creatures that are very easy to kill, but then the, like, 3 dudes. And there's no Espers in this level.
Oh, is it just where you're playing as a couple people? Oh, yeah, it's those guys. You remember the running minigame in 12?
Yeah.
That's those guys.
Okay.
Yeah, fuck them in this game, too, is what I say.
I can't fuck them in this game. I have retried that level.
Dude, there are ways.
A dozen times.
There are fucked up ways, so...
there are fucked up ways of beating this.
With Lloyd, I would like lure them and make sure they all got separated.
I hate all this sneaking shit. God.
It's a tactical espionage game.
It's like nowhere near as interesting.
It's Metal Gear Solid RTS with Final Fantasy skins.
This is a bullshit MOBA where your entire thing is that you have to cheat. You have to cheat in order to go to the next level, right?
It's not cheating. You just gotta...
I would call...
It's guerrilla warfare.
Well, I had to do to kill Medius, or whatever the fuck his goddamn name was.
Chick, but...
Was stand back in the corner, and then from another part of the map, send the little dudes as, like, kamikaze.
Yeah.
And they'd be disintegrated in, like, 3 moves from him. And I would just have to keep summoning until his very large health bar hit 0.
It's cheap, but
it was sick, dude. And I can't even do that tactic on the final fight, because on the final fight, I'm like running out of, I guess, whatever points you use up in order to have a bunch of guys. I'm running out of that shit. I can't.
Well, when they die, you get more points.
I know. I know that.
Well,
but it's nowhere near.
If they're dying en masse, then it's a problem, obviously, because you'll have a group of 10 plus units and they'll all die at the same time. And then it creates a problem because you can't just summon 10 people right away after you get that taken care of. So
I can't get those things to go up fast enough and like kamikaze on Bahamut, though. I can't do that.
Yeah,
Bahamut's way too fast.
That's the crazy part is I kind of just lured Bahamut off of the platform. I killed him every time. I don't think I died to Bahamut. I might have when he was initially summoned and I got hit by the laser beam and then he hit me with Mega Flare. But then after that, I was like, okay. The second he gets his ass in this battle, I'm fucking off that platform, and I just pulled him down and I just tore him to pieces. I don't know what the difference is. I tried it on your DS last time, and it was not a good experience for me. I wasn't able to beat it. I went back on mine, and I wasn't able to beat it because the random enemies in the area level up with you. So on my game, they're all level 99, and I'm 71, which is good, but not 99. Not 99 good.
How many times would I have to do the one level that you just do over and over again at the 50,000 experience each? How many times would I have to do that fucking level over and over again to get level 99?
I don't know. Probably a few hundred times.
And would Bahamut go only to level 99 and stop?
Level 99 is the max.
Or is it really secretly that it's going to be level 130 and just shows level 99 like it has done in previous Final Fantasy?
I don't think it would in this one. I think you can grind your way out of it. So worst case scenario, you spend another 30 hours
Jesus
doing Midnight's Deep.
Dude, fuck, man. I'm legitimately angry at this game.
Yeah. Well,
it is pissing me off.
You need to work on the party layout. I mean, on those missions where
I did just fine the rest of the game. Even the bullshit level, I did just fine. This is a brick wall.
Well, it's not
This is bullshit.
It's not about doing just fine, Joe. This is one of those games where you have to do excellent. It's no C gets degree sort of a fight. It's an A- as the worst. Or you get kicked out of the Revenant Wings program.
Dude, no one online is even that good at this fucking game.
Oh, I know. I looked.
And
I looked at some stuff. And it's
I was watching YouTube videos, dude, and I followed the exact fucking tactic. I just couldn't kill him.
Was he higher level?
I wasn't looking at the level that I should have, and I will now.
Yeah.
But I just
with those fights where you take on the three dudes, just really toy around with the party that you have. I ended up doing just attackers for that. Oh wait, no, that's not true. Wait, no, it is. I had Lloyd, and then I had two other big time attackers, and then I would just have Lloyd stay the fuck away and res people. And I would just take him out one by one, like pull them away from each other, like use Lloyd to like draw him down on the left side of the map, and then
I hate
come
this
in
game.
and then come in from the right with like the cavalry and do a little sweep.
I would rather play FF1 like 10 more times,
yeah,
than play this game one more time.
That's pretty bad.
I hate it.
I'm not having that bad of it. Of course, I've been done for a month now, so I guess that's probably why.
Let's see if I can cheat my way out of this hard level. Cheat my way out of this. Oh wait, no, those are just the tactics for use, right?
Yeah, it's not cheating.
Or are there actual like?
It's not cheat.
This game should be easy.
It's not cheat. It's cheap.
Just do this.
Wasn't that your thing earlier in the show with the Final Fantasy IV?
It's not
level
cheap.
grinding?
It's cheap. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
It is cheap, but it is bullshit still.
All right.
Either way, I'm pissed off.
Well, hopefully you'll be able to knock it out because end of the semester's coming up and you're going to have some time. And I would much rather you be playing Final Fantasy 15 Then Final Fantasy 12 Revenant
Glad you would
Wings.
much rather have that for me.
I would.
I would much rather have that for myself more than anything.
But
dude, I hate it. I just want to like break the game so I have an excuse just to move on.
yeah, I'd be like, hey, it glitched. I can't.
I'm sorry, it's just fucked.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, you said it on the show, so we all know.
What if it actually just happened?
Then no one would believe you, and of course, I would
What if like
perpetuate
we go
that.
deep into the internet and it's like, did you know that every once in a while the game is impossible to beat? Just based upon random coding circumstance?
Yeah,
And I'd be like, huh, that's interesting. I think I might have that situation.
yeah,
Dude, this ain't no X-Death, man. There's nothing I can find that like makes this
yeah.
a go.
Yeah, the worst case scenario is to grind to 99, and that would take a while.
Oh, yeah, just a while.
But I'm telling you, I'm able to do that Midlight's Deep mission in about 5 minutes. So if I can do, and that's net 5. That's 5 minutes to enter the battle.
I'm not sure what I hate
exit,
more.
save, come back in.
Continuing to do a fight that I die on, or continuing to do a fight that is boring that
Yeah.
I live on
Yeah,
over and over and over
perhaps we have a question from us to
And
you.
over.
in that.
and over and over and over. Now repeat that for 8 fucking hours, and you should have about my experience in FF12 Revenant Wings.
Yeah, I
There you
don't.
go. Fuck this game, by the way. Fuck this game.
I don't know what
I want to play 15 so fucking bad, but 12 is Revenant Wings. Once again, it's another 12 game. Fucking.
I do remember you playing 12 and pulling your fucking hair out, sitting on this couch over here.
Fuck this fucking piece of shit. Tactical. Stylus, everybody gets in the way of each other, can't
Yeah.
fucking move bullshit that this game is.
Yeah, there's
And
a
it's
lot
paper
of that.
thin story, who's, by the way, you could have replaced the characters in any of this game with any other character in any other Final Fantasy game, and it would just be, oh yeah, that's them, I guess.
Yeah,
And we'll continue on from
I don't
there.
know some of the dialogue matches, but
yeah.
for the most part, it's pretty generic. So
It is the most generic that you can be, while also being the most bullshit gameplay wise.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
that.
just look back to all those tweets you sent out of you just plowing through these missions.
Hey man, I was doing good. I even beat the fucking boss that you had a problem on.
Yeah, that was the second hardest. No, that's the hardest main game thing. The second hardest in the game, probably. The Bahamut one, where you had to fight all the summons, I think took me longer and it was harder. It was more stressful in the moment than the other one. So look forward to that when you're trying to
What
get
the fuck?
Bahamut.
Okay, so you have to defeat, in order to beat the game, you must beat this level that is, everybody has fucking said, and I say everybody, I just mean you twice.
Yeah.
Everybody has said that is harder. That's what I'm hearing. So
It's-
you
yeah.
have to beat the harder level in order to beat the level that's not as hard.
That's the end.
That's
Well,
the end.
I also beat the end.
But I can't fucking beat the end. So how the fuck am I supposed to beat the harder level?
Well, it's harder, but I also beat it before I beat the end. So that one made the end easier, I feel. I don't know, because I didn't try the end before that. But maybe that's why the end was so easy, was because of the harder than the end, which may not be harder than the end. I just did it before and made the end easy.
I fucking hate this game. I hate it. Dude, I've been trying that level too, and Ramu is like...
he's sick.
he's the same as fucking Bahamut in the last battle. He's just a wall of death
Yeah.
and destruction
You just gotta
and
keep
an
moving.
impossible health bar.
You just have to keep moving. Moving and
So
moving.
not only do I need tactics for the final boss, I need tactics to beat the God. I just want to know what the name of that fucking level is so that I don't sound like a fucking moron. But
Well, there's like-
that thing.
there's a
I have
ton
to
of
beat
levels,
that
so.
thing to beat the other thing.
Yeah.
Fuck this game. I hate it. I hate it.
Well, if you want to hear more positive thoughts on the Final Fantasy series, you guys can check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/Ultima Final Fantasy. You can go to our website, ultimafinalfantasy.com. There's a lot of great content on there. We got all our episodes, a forum, lots of great stuff. You can check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/Ultima Final Fantasy. Check out most of the episodes live on Twitch, and games that aren't DS games streamed on Twitch at twitch.tv/Ultima Final Fantasy. I'll be streaming Final Fantasy 15 there soon. I have some other shit I have to take care of first, but soon. And what else do we have? We got the Patreon. If you guys want to support us, you can give us $1 a month. Get the episodes as soon as we're done mixing them, usually Saturday, sometimes 9 o'clock Sunday night, right before they're coming out, as well as various pre-releases on the commentaries, stuff like that. We're going to try to get more exclusive content for that once things cool down a little bit. And give us a call on our phone line. It's 385-204-3921. That's 385-204-3921. Really want to get that going. It's nice to hear from you guys. It's crazy to hear a voice from a person whose name you see a lot. Like when we finally heard what Shinru sounded like, it's odd. It's like a jarring experience, but it's cool because now you can.
Now there's a voice.
Yeah. Now there's a voice, almost a face, to this person that's been on our forums for a long time. So,
hey, I want to say something. So Troy, of course, is fulfilling his word by sending you 15.
Yes,
the deluxe or whatever edition it was. It was a crazy edition, right?
Yeah, it was full hog.
And he did offer to get 15 for me as well. After I complained about not being employed last week.
You fuck.
And I will happily accept, and I just want to say thank you very much, Troy. You don't really actually need to do that, but I appreciate that you're willing to do that, and we'll have to make it back. We'll have to make it up to you somehow because this is a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it is. It's completely nuts that's something that is willing to do. Like I was blown away by it, and I was like, no. You don't have to do that. Like, it's okay. But, hey, if that's what you want. I mean, it's rude to not accept a gift, right?
There you go.
It's the Buddhist within. Also,
we'll
the
have
Buddhist
to do
within.
something. I don't know. I'll have to write a song about Troy or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
We'll have to figure something out. So, thank you, Troy. Do we have any news today?
We do.
News alert. Final Fantasy 12 Revenant Wings sucks ass. Joe out.
Time for the real news. So Final Fantasy 15 actually shared a live-action Stand Together trailer on the day the game was released.
Let's come together.
You want to watch this thing?
Live action?
Yeah, dude. Let's fucking check this out.
What the fuck does that even mean? All right.
It means people.
What? What? What?
Here we go with this shit again. Alright, so we got people running. They're making a trap, it looks like. They're a bunch of little kids. There's a giant orb. Oh, shit. It's an Iron Giant. You stay. I go. Alright, it's pissed. Uh-oh. Kid down.
You know, something tells me that giant thing is not live action.
Yeah, especially with all the SAG-AFTRA shit going on right now. That guy's protesting. So this is kind of cool looking.
So the 15 guys have come to save the day?
Yeah, it looks like the squad.
Why the fuck are the kids in the woods in the mountain and they're like 11?
I don't know. Also, where did they get a hold of the explosives? Like, where the fuck are their parents in this whole situation? They just have like fucking bombs laying around the house.
Extra trade
Shut up.
Jesus.
So yeah, game's out. by the way.
BT dubs.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 15's out.
Yeah, we got another piece of news here. It's Final Fantasy Remake is returning to Mobius Final Fantasy on December 1st in Japan. So look forward to another collaboration event between those two games if you're in Japan. If not, sorry.
Yeah.
Sucks for you. So Final Fantasy 15. Apparently there was a mystery disc thing shown, and it's a Square Enix. It's like an extra battle between the president of Square Enix and your party. It's absolute madness, but we're gonna watch this shit anyway.
Oh my god! All right.
So Yosuke Matsuda will be battled. They kind of joked about it being available for a certain cost, apparently, and then a lot of people were interested in it, and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna do this." So let's check out this trailer. Oh shit! This is 30 minutes. Where the fuck is the
somewhere? I assume.
Here we go. All right, so we got the president coming down.
これ作ったんですか？
私とお手合わせ願いましょう。
Oh wow! So he pulled out a sword. Apparently, we have to beat down the CEO, and Noctis acknowledges him as the CEO. So that's kind of a wall break. Slowly and ominously coming towards us.
He's very boss-like.
Yeah. So got some hard hits in there.
That's pretty sweet.
Looks like he might take a little bit to kill. So that's kind of funny. I think that's a cool little thing, and that's something they did back in the day. They had those developer rooms and stuff. And Final Fantasy IV's what was the one? Interlude? I found the developer room in that one, and there were some pretty cool fights in there. So
it's awesome.
Just kind of a fun little thing that they like to do. And this one you can pay for, apparently. So it'd probably be like $5.
All right,
I guess there was a poll on GameFAQs. There were a couple polls submitted, but the other ones I decided, nah. This one's titled, "How many of the regularly numbered Final Fantasy games have you now played?" So the options are none, never played a single regular Final Fantasy game, 1 to 3, 4 to 7, 8 to 11, 12 to 14, all 15 from Final Fantasy 1 to 15, including the MMOs, all 15, and most, if not all, of the sequels, prequels, and spin-offs. Looks like 10% of people who did this poll haven't played a single Final Fantasy. 16, almost 17%, played 1 to 3. Never been super into the series.
It didn't say beaten, though. It just said how many have you played.
Yes, played. 4 to 7, so that's, a decent amount. That's about how many I was at before we did the podcast. Somewhere in that range. 8 to 11, 22.79%. 12 to 14, almost all of them, 21.97, all 15. Final Fantasy 1 to 15, including the MMOs. 1.75% of people who polled are as good as us. Remember that.
I haven't played 15 yet. So.
Oh, that's true. Fuck. I rescind it. So we're in the 12 to 14.
Yeah.
And then all 15 and most, if not all, of the sequels, prequels, and spin-offs, 4.78% of people. So
what?
Yeah. Somehow.
Wow.
Somehow. That actually doesn't really make much sense.
Nope.
But, all right, fine. Cool. That's an interesting little poll.
Played, maybe. I don't know about beaten.
Yeah, we don't consider played as as what counts. So, and finally, in Final Fantasy 15 news,
this is not the answer to the question from us to you, by the way.
No.
Posed.
Final Fantasy 15 tops 5 million in worldwide shipments and is the fastest selling title from the series.
So it beat FF10's little record, I guess.
Yep. And
awesome.
This is just games shipped, so it's not necessarily games sold, but that's still pretty damn good. That's 5 million, and you'll find out later that we were a little skeptical as far as the sales go because of what we were seeing at the midnight release in Provo. But
at the same time, we did have the snowstorm of the century that night, so a lot of people weren't going to the GameStop.
Yeah, I can only imagine how much worse Springville would have been being down there.
I wouldn't have taken that drive.
No.
Yeah.
Hell no.
That would have been
You know, I was thinking about having us divide and conquer and go to both. Just get another Zoom. Yeah, with the one microphone. Yeah.
with the one microphone.
Yeah, but I'm glad I didn't decide on that because that would have sucked really bad for one of us.
Yeah, it would have been you too.
Yeah, because you're the car you're in. The tires are
bald.
they're more bald than I am, so problematic.
And that's pretty fucking bald.
Oh,
Yeah. Like
asshole.
that?
No.
Yeah, that's how I feel about FF12 Revenant Wings. Fucking snooty attitude about it. Well, I just did it.
Yeah,
I just played the game, and it was, you know.
it just happened. You know.
How do we? I mean, no one was there to witness it. How do we know you actually beat Revenant Wings?
I sent a screenshot of the end credits.
Photoshop.
Of course, you haven't seen those, so you can't.
I can do Photoshop.
You can't
and
prove
I can fucking get a picture of me holding the fucking end of the game. You want me to do? I can do that.
Well, you can't. You keep coming up with these workarounds on the show. Like, I feel like this is not the place.
Yeah, but if I take a picture, no one's gonna believe me now.
It's true, yeah.
Or will they believe me because they'll be like, he didn't Photoshop it, or did he?
Oh shit! Now there's all sorts of. There's just so much doubt in this room right now. I don't know if they would ever truly believe you beat
Dude, my
Revenant
God,
Wings.
I cannot believe how fucking difficult this game is. This is bad. This isn't me being, and I am pretty busy right now with the movie and everything. I wasn't even gonna record on this episode today, but
Yeah, but shit got moved around.
shit got moved around, so it's all fine. But I can't believe that this game's being fucking delayed because it's difficult. It's too hard. That's why it's being delayed. It's not being delayed because I was lazy about it and didn't start playing it till I should have played it, you know, like ways, or, you know, was playing it too slow. Like
Well-
we used to do sometimes in the past, like FF5 took like months.
Yeah.
But no, man. It keeps getting delayed because I can't fucking beat the goddamn thing. I cannot beat this game. And I realize that this is now what the podcast episode has become about. It's about how there was a midnight release for FF15, but I don't get to enjoy any of that. Not even the idea of possibly looking at the opening cutscene. I don't even get any of that because I can't beat Revenant Wings.
Yeah.
Revenant fuck. I don't even know. What's a good thing to call Revenant Wings now?
I don't know. A great game.
Irrelevant Wings.
Yeah, irrelevant wings.
Irrelevant
Irrelevant things.
Yeah.
Irrelevant things. That's Final Fantasy 12. Irrelevant things.
Totally irrelevant for today because
Yeah.
FF15's all the rage. All of our audience is fucking playing it. None of our audience is fucking stuck on Revenant Wings right now. It's just me.
Well, you don't think so? You don't think anyone out there is playing Final Fantasy 12 Revenant Wings right now?
No.
Okay.
I honestly don't think anybody is playing this game right now. Someone may have a save file, but no one's picked it up in the last 4 days.
Yeah.
Come on. Not when 15's out.
Well, I mean, 15 is only so much of a game, right? It's
Unless we have like a super fan who doesn't like talk on the forums and like plays along with us.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
A lot of people are wanting to jump on playing along with us for some of them. But, you know, finally, after 2.5 years, they're like, oh, hey, maybe we should play some of these spin-offs. But then 15 comes out, and they're probably
I
just
tell
like,
you what,
"Nah."
man, I would rather play FF10-2 Last Mission over and over again for all eternity than give this one a replay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking bad.
I fucking hate this game. It's not that the game is bad in all fronts. I had a fun time from like episode 3 to episode 7.
Yeah.
But after episode 8, it's all bullshit,
It
dude.
becomes hell. Yeah. It's like storming the beaches of Normandy. You're just fucking going in, and you guys are just getting blown away, and everyone's dying, and Tom Hanks is there, but it doesn't matter because he's going to die too. And
Yeah, it's sort of like that, except I lose every time.
yeah, you don't win the war, you
You
lose.
just lose. It's not like there was a lot of casualties and I win. It's a lot of casualties, and also it's just obliteration. Actually, it's complete and utter obliteration.
There's nothing left of the body.
There's nothing.
They liquefy me.
This is the rape of the FF12 character list.
Yeah.
They're dead. They're dead so many times over in every possible fucking universe, in the multiverse,
every strand.
The FF12 characters live in. They just keep fucking dying to Bahamut after he's summoned with the final boss. He's a fuck face. God, he's a fuck.
Oh man, I almost wonder if you could lure Bahamut away with Bosch, pull him away completely, and then take everybody else up on the side and hit the main.
I have no idea.
Because Bosch can do that thing where he becomes immune to damage.
I've never gotten him to that point.
And just hold him there. Just hold him away from everybody else and just start attacking the main guy. Because the main thing does not take that long to kill. As you know, you've gotten it down to the half health that you need to.
A half health point that's easy to get to?
Yeah.
Yeah, except he's totally going to do that beam of death every 10 seconds.
Does it kill you, though? Or does it just fuck you up real bad?
That one fucks me up bad. It used to kill me, but now I do more defensive stuff.
Okay. Well, you might be able to get away with that then and just do a Kiraga with Pinello and get out. And not get out, but kill.
I don't know if I can kill it that quickly. I think he'd have 3 beams on me.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh. Ooh, that's bad.
No, there's no way to recover from that. You gotta get out. So I know at the end when Bahamut dies, I have to send guys on Kamikaze up there.
Yeah.
But
that's going to be tough.
That's doable.
That's
the fucking Bahamut's the thing that's killing me, not the goddamn boss.
Well, you're going to have to time it with those other 4 guys that spawn on the end base too. Or else you're going to get fucked by them. Or your Kamikaze bombs will never make it through. They'll just get killed. So it's going to be a lot of finessing.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it so much.
Yeah, it does kind of suck that you're stuck on it. I'll give you that.
Yeah, it more than kind of sucks. It makes me want to quit this goddamn show.
Yeah, this is all you have in this world.
Why did I even do? Why did I do this challenge of playing all the Final Fantasy games?
Because, man, we the love of the series. We have to be the ones.
The love can only go so far.
Revenant
if you
wings.
have a loved one who takes a knife and tries to murder you with it, should you be living with that person anymore, despite the fact that you may love them?
No. No, but you should.
The answer is fucking no.
You should finish them.
I don't want to be a fucking beaten housewife here. Those are not the same 2 examples. Yeah.
Well,
that was the murdering husband versus the
abusive
husband.
Well, that's what Final Fantasy is right now, and you are Final Fantasy's side chick. So, enjoy. You'll make it through. Just keep grinding and just try new things on the end boss.
I'm grinding, man. Dude, there's a section of my brain that is just it's being ground down upon, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck. Well,
it's hard to enjoy this grind. I'll give you that. I don't care. Final Fantasy 15 could be a mediocre at best game, and I'm way, way excited for it.
Yeah, it's getting good reviews.
If anything, because the game that I played before it is atrocious. Oh, wait, hold on. 2 games that I played before it are atrocious because right before now, I believe... Oh, what was the game I was playing for Nude Clan? Was it another atrocious game that we'll be reviewing tonight?
Yes.
Yeah. Armored Core for Fuckface? Is that what it was called?
I think it might be called For Answer, but I'm not
okay.
sure.
Armored Core for Answer.
Fuckface does ring a bell.
Yeah. Fuckface sounds right. Oh, God. No, that's got to be the title of that game.
You got a lot of gaming aggro on you right now.
I think that is a worse game than FF12 Revenant Wings, but I'm more angry at FF12 Revenant Wings.
Well, that's because FF12 Revenant Wings isn't a 5-hour game like the other one. The other one has an end, and it's quick, if you want it to be.
It's not quick. The ending was a bitch in Armored Core.
Well,
but I didn't have to do 30 minutes of other battling before I got to the part that was difficult.
Yeah, that's true.
So I only had to deal with that. If I could just restart this level where Bahamut comes out, then maybe we might have like a chance. You know?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, look on the forums. He posted some really good stuff on how to defeat this level. I know there's some things that you haven't done yet because it's not stuff that I tried. Take a look at
Bahamut based. It's very Bahamut based.
Take a look at Shinru's post and give those things a try. And who knows? I mean, if you don't need to go get Bahamut, then that'll be great. I mean, that'll cut off hours of your gameplay time because you're gonna have to get up to the point where you can fight Bahamut. In the other fight before the 4 other summons, or after the 4 other summons, and making the end fight easier. But if you can just skip through the end fight, then I mean,
fuck this game.
You won't 100% it, but
let's talk about what I am sure of this. It's a much better game. Let's talk about the midnight release, or play back our midnight release experience. Let's do that.
All right, fine.
All right, so forgive the fan noise of the heater. I am Joe, and I am on my way with Caleb at the wheel, driving, of course. I'm all fucked up. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. We are going through the storm of the century and into the heart of Provo, all the way to the Provo Mall, the Provo Town Center Mall, as they call it. Schweiss, what are the driving conditions like here on our release date of Final Fantasy 15, just a couple hours away?
Well, I mean, I know Square wants to make it rain, but that's not really regionally acceptable right now. It took me about 45 minutes to get from my school at UVU, which is an exit away on the freeway, to here. The road conditions are pretty bad. They're a little better in Provo than they were. Okay, they're a lot better in Provo than they were in Orem, but alas, right now we are on the sort of lesser traveled road, so it's iffy. It's not fun, and the experience I had earlier, probably one of the worst I've had in my life. It's the time that it struck, like right after dark, like an hour-ish after it got dark, and it just hit hard. So no plows, everything's backed up. The plows can get through because there's a line of cars 10 miles long on every road. So just perfect storm for hell.
I drove from Ogden to Provo, which I don't know how many miles that is, but that is usually an hour and 25-minute drive. I think it took me just over 3 hours to get here. It was hell, dude. It was terrible. And then I got here, and you weren't home, and you were like, "Dude, I can't leave." And I'm like, "God, no, we're gonna miss the 15 event." But luckily, I mean, it hasn't turned out that way yet. I mean, the only worst thing that could happen right now is, first off, we get in a wreck between here and there, which would suck because it's like 2 miles away, perfectly flat road, and it's mildly well paved in these more busy areas. But the other thing that could happen is it could turn out into a Type 0 situation again, where there's like 2 people.
Yeah, I was thinking about this earlier, and the midnight release for this game is actually at 10 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Hang on, am I going to turn?
Dun-na. Oh, look at this. This is, like, nice.
Yeah, I can actually speed up. But anyway, the midnight release for this is at 10 o'clock our time because it's midnight on the East Coast. So I kind of wonder if maybe Type 0's was at the same time, and we just completely missed it because we showed up at midnight.
That is a good observation. We will see if it comes to pass. What do you think about that 8.5 score that Game Informer gave it? I mean, 13... Game Informer gave 13 a 9.25, and they also gave 12 a 9.5. And usually they're in the 9-point-something ranges for the main series Final Fantasy. What do you think about that 8.5?
I'm not too worried about it. I mean, I love 12, and I think 12 deserves what it got. But Game Informer, I never really have trusted Game Informer that much. I feel like they almost go for what's in, like what's popular. It feels like they're a Call of Duty game. Well, let's give it a 9.5, 9.75, maybe a 10. And Final Fantasy is a big series, as we know, but it's, I don't know, it's dwindling, and I feel like they're more okay with being more honest with it now than they were in the past. Like, looking at some of those old Metacritic scores for some of those other games, I'm like blown away. I don't think I'd rate them that highly. And I run a show with you on the whole series. Like, we played through all of them, and there's some of them that I'm like, I don't think so. Like, 92? That's kind of high. And 9 being the very best one, I mean, it's great, but I don't know. So as far as Game Informer goes, it's a little bit concerning, but I'm gonna try to avoid any sort of ratings, any sort of spoilers, and just kind of have a fresh view of it myself. And we'll see just how our rankings stack up against theirs.
How do you like running a Final Fantasy show for 2 years and then neither of us are getting the game on release?
It's pretty sad, gotta say. It's pretty horrifying. And the thing is, though, like, even if we were to get it on release tonight, we'd go to my place, I'd play it on my PS4 for, an hour maybe.
I would watch.
Go to bed. Tomorrow I'd wake up, go to work, go to school, maybe play it for another hour, a couple hours. Wednesday I'd have time, I guess, but I have all this shit I have to do for school. Like, I'm also pretty backed up because of procrastination and being gone all last week. So I don't know how I feel about this whole thing. Like, it's sad because we haven't had one, but I don't have time either, so I don't know. It's fucked up.
What do you think the turnout's going to be? Not just because of our experience at Type 0, though we went to the midnight release at 13, and it was epic. With this weather as it is, do you think that's going to thwart some people from going to the GameStop tonight?
Well, I think it might. I mean, the thing is with it being the Provo GameStop, there's one in Orem that's pretty close to this one, in fact, I'd say. It's just a very south tip of Orem, and I feel like, for the most part, those who are in Provo are going to have pretty decent conditions like we have right now. So I don't know if it'll thwart them too much necessarily, unless they were sort of on the fence to begin with, as far as the midnight release thing goes.
Well, hopefully we get to talk to some people. We'll be back in a second. Slightly bad sign. The GameStop looks like a normal GameStop at the moment, and it is, an hour and a half away?
Hour and 50.
Hour and 50?
Yeah, it's only 8:05 or 8.
Oh, God, I thought it was later than that.
Nope, so, I don't know. It's a little bit early. I mean, 10 o'clock. I don't know who has time to just chill at the mall for 2 hours.
What losers.
Yeah.
Well, you want to go browse around at the mall?
Yeah, why not?
All right, let's go look at the Victoria's Secret posters. Twice it is 9 o'clock. It is 1 hour until the release of FF15 here, and I only see 2 dudes here at the GameStop. What do you think of that?
Well, I think they're 2 very fine gentlemen, which may end up on this thing if we can get them. But it's kind of odd. Like, I'm still reminiscing about the 13 release, and it was big. I don't know what's going on. Of course, we were in Springville. Maybe Springville's bigger? I don't know. Well, it's not a bigger town, but maybe it's just a preferred GameStop.
Well, you might be right about that. The weather is too bad, though, to figure out or to find that out. That's for sure. So I don't know. We'll wait around for a little bit longer and see what happens. But so far, this is turning out to be a lackluster release. I will say that. Of course, maybe they all know that it was released in Germany super early, and they're all pissed off.
Maybe.
All right, so what's your name?
Matthew?
Matthew,
how many, like, what's your history with Final Fantasy? How did you get into the series, or are you into the series, or just trying this out?
This will be my first entry into the series.
Oh, wow. Okay. So what is making Final Fantasy more of an interesting thing than, let's say, the other games that have come out so far for you?
I'm looking at it because of the graphics of Scott. I'm trying to get into video game design, so I'm kind of using it as a study to see what video games are capable of.
Oh, really? Okay. So no previous Final Fantasy experience whatsoever? No. Oh, wow. So do you like RPGs, though? Is that a thing?
Yes, I enjoy RPGs.
So what makes you want to get into video game design? What is that all about?
I once heard a quote that said, you should go into something that you love so much when you have nothing to think about, that's what you think about. So, video games.
What kind of video games do you like?
I am a born and bred Nintendo fan, but I really enjoy strategy games and games that make you think.
So like Civilization, or...
I've played a lot of Age of Empires, I've played a lot of Fire Emblem, and games similar to that.
That's awesome. Thank you very much. All right, so what's your name?
Russell.
Russell, are you a Final Fantasy player?
Yes, I am.
Where did you start with Final Fantasy?
I personally started with Final Fantasy X. After that, I backtracked to 7 upon the recommendation of my brother. And then I progressed 8 and 9. Though I can't remember the last time I played 9, so I can't.
Are you like a 14 player or anything like that recently? Or is that what you've had experience with the Final Fantasy X, 8, 9?
I had up to 10, and then I skipped 11 because it's Final Fantasy 11. I tried to get back in with 12, but by that time the game system had just changed so much that I was really unfamiliar.
What are you looking forward to in this game? Why are you here?
I'm mostly here because of my friend, because I don't have money to buy it myself.
Of course.
But I'm just as excited. I got the early, what was it, the demo of it, and that, because it was so much like other RPGs, say like other Square products like Kingdom Hearts, and that it just brought me in again. It's like, oh my goodness. Combine that with the graphical spectacle, and also, from what I've seen, the game has just so many different areas of focus. Like, you have a bunch of mini games with things like one of your side characters has like cooking skills to increase buffs for your friends. Each class has specific traits. The whole depth of creation that they put into it is really what made me excited.
So were you interested in the game when it was Versus 13, or is this more of a newer?
This is new for me. My brother just said, "Hey, I obviously take a lot of video game advice from my brother because he has a lot more invested into it. He's got almost every single console, like an Xbox One, and PS4, PS3, Wii U, just so he can try everything." And so I take a lot of advice from him. But he just said, hey, you got to try 15 right now. Go on, get that demo. I know you haven't followed it ever since 12, but you got to try it.
Well, I hope you enjoy the game.
Too.
All right, so I'm here with a couple gentlemen here. What are your names?
Jed and James Christensen.
All right, Jed and James. So obviously this is a midnight release for Final Fantasy 15. Where did you guys start with the series? Like, how long have you been in Final Fantasy? Is this your first one, or is this one of many?
I started with, I think it was Final Fantasy 10.
No, James, it was 8.
Oh, it was 8. Final Fantasy 8. And then I remember after that I played the original one for the Super Nintendo. That one was fun. Final Fantasy 1.
Yeah, but I was in the beat it before you.
Yeah, you did beat it before me. That's right.
Yeah, the first game is it's a lot of work, that's for sure. So what are you guys most excited about with Final Fantasy 15? I mean, what's making you come to the midnight release? 8 was a lot of Final Fantasies ago, so have you been with it ever since then? Have you played the MMOs? What's that been like?
I haven't played the MMOs because I didn't feel like paying for the online subscription or anything like that, so I haven't played those ones, but I played 11 and 12, and so we're just waiting for this one.
For me, I love the stories that come out of the Final Fantasy series. They've just, a lot of them gotten better, others slightly slower, but usually it's very well written, very good quality. The gameplay is better than the older graphics, and it's combining some of the older gameplay as well.
Were any of you guys fans of Final Fantasy when 13 came out? So. Did you play 13?
Yeah, one with lightning, right?
Yeah, one with lightning.
Yeah, I played the first one, and then I just was with a friend when he played the second half of it, but I still enjoyed it a lot. And actually, I enjoyed the third part of the story the most.
Oh, so Lightning Returns, is that the one? Or are you talking third portion of 13?
Third portion of 14, when they're going after, so bad we're talking. Anyways, you know, they have the arc going back through time with...
Oh, yeah.
That's definitely 13 too.
Yeah, I think it is. That one is supposed to be pretty good. The combat's supposed to be improved upon from 13, so looking forward to that.
Music's for the best.
Yeah.
Have you heard the soundtrack for this game?
No, not yet.
No, not yet. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it's a good...
It sounds like legit.
We were just in the middle of watching the movie to understand the lore of the world.
Oh, the Kingslave thing.
Oh, how many times have you watched it? Is this going to be your first time?
It's my first time. Usually watch like the first 45 minutes.
Oh, well, good luck.
So just put it to the side.
Yeah, good luck. It's heavy, Kingslave. It's got a lot of stuff in it, and... Do you know what's going on yet?
Not necessarily, just like the town just got invaded, and then they're in the town.
They're in constant war with the other kingdom, which is based off the mythology of Norse myth. So they're in the middle of the war. Now the other side, Nibelheim is demanding the other side basically give up their land. You know, they're under quote unquote treaty, and they're holding the princess captive.
So you use her as a pawn. And I watched that movie 3 times or something like that. The movie's quite boggy.
Yeah, it's a little dense, but it does get you nice and prepped. Did you guys watch the anime on YouTube yet?
I saw it, but I just haven't watched it yet. So I keep putting it off, thinking that it was something else.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's actually pretty good. I enjoyed it a lot, but...
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
So I talked to the guy, the GameStop guy, and I asked how many people he expected to be there. And he said that a lot of people have actually showed up to purchase the game, or they called in to say that they were going to go grab it, but that no one basically was showing up. We had 4 people.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
And we interviewed them all. So, and none of them really seem to be huge Final Fantasy fans. They seem to be, casual players or new players, which was interesting, I would say.
Yeah, that's kind of a crazy thing to jump in on the 15th, but I guess it's better now than never, right?
But, I mean, the thing that's slightly concerning is that, from our position, it's like, well, maybe it won't do as well as Final Fantasy 13. But just based upon how many people showed up at midnight, but, I mean, or, for this release, but there's a huge factor here of our weather is terrible, and people maybe don't want to go out into it, and I can totally understand that. And then you had a pretty good point, which was...
what was it? Oh, yeah, digital. So many people are buying everything all digital nowadays that, I mean, the sales could be through the roof. Everybody's got it preloaded. Everyone's ready to play at midnight or 10 or whatever the fuck time it is for you. But it's all on their console. They didn't have to leave the couch. They're all chilling at home, just waiting. And that's honestly, it's very tempting because, I mean, my game would be loading right now. It would be getting all the patches. It would be getting everything updated. And when 10 o'clock hits, I could play. No midnight release necessary. You don't have to go anywhere, which is great, especially in our area right now with the traffic being as bad as it is because of weather. Maybe that's playing a big factor in it. I don't know. We'll have to see what the first little bit of sales numbers when they trickle in, how that reflects with 13.
It's crazy that the GameStop guy was like, it's 1/10 the amount of people he expected right now, which is nuts. And I don't know if we'll interview any more people if anybody else shows up. I guess we probably should interview a couple more, but this is slightly concerning.
Yeah, I mean, considering how long we've been waiting, and considering how big this game is supposed to be for Square Enix, this is kind of concerning. Yeah, I'd listen under a little bit of fright, but like I said, the digital market's heavy as fuck right now, and I know at least two people that are gonna, two of the people that I know, I think Caleb Craig might have bought it digitally too. I'm not sure, but I feel like he would have, yeah. And who knows how many listeners out there, but hopefully that's what's biting into it, and game does well, and we get some more people to talk to because it's fun. But it is kind of odd so far. It's been kind of mixed. There's no diehard Final Fantasy guys here yet, which is kind of odd because there were a bunch at the 13 one. There were people that were just in, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Alright, so I'm here with Kyle, and apparently, I don't know, it's kind of disturbing how low the amount of people here is, but I'm going to stop talking about that and start talking about Final Fantasy. So, Kyle, how invested are you in the series? I mean, how many of these games have you played in the past? Where did you start? What's your Final Fantasy story?
Well, let's see. My start would probably be 10, but I've played them all. Beaten all except 5. And
oh wow, why not 5?
Just hasn't gotten around to it. I was waiting for like a DS or iPhone remake, but they never got around to it.
Yeah, do you like job systems?
Yeah, it's a lot fun.
Okay, you're gonna love 5 then. 5 is just like job system galore. It's amazing.
I've played it, I just haven't beaten it yet.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So what are you most excited about with Final Fantasy 15? What's got you here on 10 p.m. release, I guess, since it's not midnight release? What's making it that exciting for you?
Well, the hype is really big. It's been 10 years since we've gotten another staple number except for 14. And 14's an MMO, so I don't really technically count that one, even though I play it every once in a while. But I've played a little bit of it hands-on. I have the Platinum demo, and I made a Japanese PSN account to play the Judgment demo to just check it out, and as far as I've played, I like it a lot.
Okay, and the game seems to be very similar to Kingdom Hearts. I've played very limited amounts of that. Did you ever play those games?
Yes, I have.
Is that kind of what it's going for, or is it a little different? I mean, I've seriously played like maybe an hour of one Kingdom Hearts game like 10 years ago.
In the demo I played, that customization was limited, but there's a level up system similar to 10. 10 was with spheres, I think. You unlock different skills. Yeah, sphere grid. Yeah. Since I don't read Japanese, I didn't really understand what I was looking
Yeah, that's why I wasn't going to go through the whole make my PS4 a Japanese PS4 thing, because I'm like, I can't even read what it's saying, but...
Yeah, the reason I did it, because there's so little stuff coming out this month. Other than Pokemon, I had nothing.
That's fair. So what is your favorite Final Fantasy in the series as of right now, before this mega release?
It'd be 4.
Oh, okay.
It's the one with Cecil and stuff like that, if you know that one.
Oh, we know it very well. We've been doing the show for like 2 years, and we've gone through all the main series and a bunch of the spin-offs, so it's exciting to finally have a midnight release for a main series Final Fantasy while we've been doing this. And like you said, it's been years and years since we've had one that's not an MMO, so it's kind of a big deal. So,
oh man, it was awful. I waited till last minute to pre-order for some weird reason, so I went by at about 7, and it was when it first started snowing like crazy to pre-order it, and just came back at 10.
Nice. Yeah, we're not actually getting it today, which is kind of messed up, but we'll get it eventually. One of our listeners has given me one of their copies, and I'm just kind of waiting for that. But awesome, thanks for sharing your thoughts, and look forward to the game. Enjoy the grind.
All right, thank you.
Smells like Cameron's mouth.
Yeah, I hope you picked that up on the show. Hey, so we're taking off now. It's about 10 minutes until release. I think there are about 15 people online. Is that about right?
I counted 11, and then I think maybe 2 more people showed up.
Okay, and the floor cleaner guy's here, so forgive us. God damn it, it's following. Yeah. So, one thing I found interesting was the fans, the people that were here, some of them were just here as, like, moral support for their friends, which there were, like, 3 people that said that. Kind of weird, but fine. But it seems like there's a lot of fans that haven't really been in the fold for a while. Like, there's guys that were like, oh, yeah, the last guy played 14, casually, it seems. But a lot of them, they're like, oh, I've played a couple games, or I've only finished, 2 or 3. And I feel like it's interesting that they're coming back now. And I wonder what the reasoning behind that is. Maybe it's because it's the new one on the PlayStation 4. They want to see just what Square Enix can do with their flagship series. Or it could just be genuine interest in what we've seen thus far with the game. I'm not sure. I'm hoping it's kind of a mix of both, because having Final Fantasy is obviously a big selling point for Sony. It is on Xbox One, though, and some of our listeners did pick it up on that console. But I wonder if it's maybe something that's finally caught their interest and is bringing people back into the series, because it's been a little weird for the last few games. Like, yeah, 12 is fun, and 13 is fun in its own way, and 11 is 11, but it hasn't really been normal Final Fantasy since 10. Though at the same time, I'm not really seeing that with 15. It doesn't seem like a normal Final Fantasy game.
I actually disagree with you. I think it is the most normal of Final Fantasy we can get. I mean, we're looking at a series that is different, or, intentionally different, with every single big release that it has. So I think that is one of the strengths of the series, is that you can come in onto the series and that's where you can just start. You can just start with Final Fantasy 15, which is totally cool. And it seems like we've got a few people that are, like you said, pretty new to the series, or they're pretty green. Especially in comparison to us and a lot of our listeners that we talk to. What I am at odds with is, like, we tried to talk to a few other people. They turned us down, and there were a couple other people there that didn't seem approachable. But, the people that we talked to, yeah, most of them, not big, fans of the series, but we're ready to come to a 10 o'clock release for this thing in the snow. So that's hopeful, while at the same time being kind of like, where are our Final Fantasy fans? Where are they at?
Well, we know where they're at. They're on the East Coast.
Well, on the West Coast as well. I would say California, as far as our listenership, is probably the biggest.
Yeah, I think they're in the border states. We got a bunch in Texas, California, the East Coast. So it's like the outline of the United States. That's where the UFF fans are. And that's
the blue states.
Yeah. Oh, except for Texas.
That's right. Anyway, I don't know, really odd. But yeah, we actually went to the release, guys. And we got to talk to some people. I'm very actually surprised with the kind of people that we talked to, but I want to thank those guys for at least talking to us, right?
Yeah, thanks a ton, guys. If you're listening to this, hopefully you don't find the podcast too offensive, and don't find listening to your own voice that strange. It's a little weird to get used to, but yeah, it happens.
If you talk to yourself enough, it's fine.
Yeah, just practicing the speeches and playing out arguments in your mind or out loud. I do that all the time.
Yeah, when I'm driving for a long drive, I just go into daydream mode, and I will literally just play all the characters.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Now, I sound crazy, and I'm going to end the recording. Anything else you have to say about tonight, Schweiss?
Our experience is very limited, so hopefully it's a big deal, as big of a deal as Square's making it out to be, and as everyone else is making it out to be. And I am really looking forward to getting to play this game. I mean, obviously we're not snagging it tonight, but we will be getting it soon, hopefully, and looking forward to jumping in. I'm going to try to keep everything pure. I'm not going to look at any of the chats. I'm not going to look at the reviews unless, of course, the PlayStation chat guys keep fucking telling me what they are, and then, of course, I'll know. But even then, as long as they don't go into details, I'll keep everything fresh and of my own opinion. So, looking forward to it.
So, I want to know, guys, I mean, we had a question a few months ago asking you what you were planning to do on the release of 15, and I'm wondering, what did you do with the release of 15? Did you go to a midnight release? Did you just download it and play it at home? I heard of people, planning to take off work. Did you take off work and play the game? So if you could just let us know, I would love to hear more about that. I think we'll end this segment.
All right, sounds good. Peace out, guys. Enjoy the grind. Well, as you know from our news segment earlier, the game is doing very well, and all of those doubts that we had were unfounded completely, so that's fun. Thank you to everybody who...
That was our very limited Storm of the Century experience.
It was kind of underwhelming, as we mentioned. It's obviously doesn't carry throughout the whole country because the game sold like crazy.
I will say that it was not just underwhelming, it was like a depressing midnight release.
Yeah, there's no like fancy stuff. They didn't have like, there's demos or there's stuff out here for you guys to play. It was literally just there
were no drawings like at the FF13 one. Like the GameStop people weren't even trying.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird, and very underwhelming experience. And honestly, we left before all the copies were handed out. Like they were getting ready to start handing them out. And we're just like, let's get the fuck out of here. There's no reason to stay. So
anyway, I do want to say that people have been nice about not having too many spoilers. The reviews for the game have been pretty good, not nearly as good as 13's reviews when it came out. That's what I've noticed so far. It's like 13. I think Game Informer, who usually blows the Final Fantasy series, they have not blown this one nearly as hard.
Yeah.
This one got like an 8.5, I believe, and it was praised for trying. From what I was reading, it was praised for trying and for its like scope, but then it lacked some things in the story department, which is of course concerning being a Final Fantasy fan, that it might lack some things in the story department. It sounds like a FF12 case to me. That's what that sounds like.
Easy. That's the second best game in the series, according to Metacritic.
Well, 15 is not the second best game in the series.
No, I know 12 though. I mean, if we're going to compare it to 12, that's
okay. All right, fair
trying
enough.
to dethrone a fucking king here. God.
What it sounds like is that it sounds like a 12 type of game.
Really big.
Really big.
Really, really fucking big. Yes.
Really open, and maybe the story suffers because it's such a big scope.
Maybe. As long as it's fun, though.
At least that's what I've heard. I don't want to have an opinion without actually playing the game.
Yeah. And we've tried to remain spoiler-free. And for the most part, the chat has been
spoiler-free.
Spoiler-free. And the chat, the PlayStation chat, has been mostly good about that. There's been a few times where he said some shit. But of course...
Noctis dies.
Of course, when I leave, they just pull me right back in when it comes to the... when it comes to the chat.
It's like a mafia situation.
It is, yeah. Chat. Every time I try to get out, they pull me right back in. Yeah, it's rough. But Caleb here, we have Caleb Craig, and
what's up?
You've played a good amount of Final Fantasy 15. What do you think so far? No spoilers or anything like that, but what are your impressions
fuck up, but tell us
of the game?
Well, I've tried to remain spoiler-free myself, so I haven't watched Kingsglaive or anything like that. And as far as story goes, I have no idea what the fuck is going on.
That sounds like Kingsglaive.
Yep. Well, I don't know what's going on. So, all I know is that some stuff happens in the city, and then I'm trying to save it, but very slowly.
The That sounds like Kingsglaive. Does that
Yeah.
sound like the plot of Kingsglaive?
Kinda, yeah.
They're like, oh well, my dad died, and
Hey,
I'm gonna just
spoilers. Hey,
just gonna go on a road trip with my buds.
Yeah.
it's literally
It gets over really
Kingsglaive.
quickly. I'm just saying, it's really weird.
Yeah, you should have watched Kingslave and the anime first.
That's gonna happen afterwards.
Well,
I want a
wants a pure-
untainted. I want a pure
Here's-
game review.
Here's the problem with that, though. Everything that happens in Kingsglaive and the anime is before the game, so no spoilers.
It is spoilers
None.
because I want the game. I want to know what's happening from the game, not from previous knowledge.
so in the future when people just pick up this game as a game, what will they think?
And apparently,
fair.
the game uses scenes from the movie. I've been told. So,
Oh, cool.
I don't know, but
That should be disorienting.
I didn't even play the demos, so the gameplay was entirely new to me.
Wait, you bought Type 0, though, didn't you?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I bought Type 0 for the demo and then never played it.
Okay, what you and Dwayne both just waste money on these things. Like, did you play Type 0?
I did play Type 0.
For how long?
I have 5 hours into it. So
Yeah,
nothing.
So you guys did the same
Just
exact
put
thing.
the
You
tip.
spent like $60+ on Type 0 to get
it
a
was
15
more than that
demo.
for the Hogs
to get a
edition.
to get a 15 demo that you never played, and you never played Type 0 either. So it's just, you basically should have just put the money in that little incinerator thing that I have and just fucking turned it on and just watched it until there's nothing left.
Yep, that's yeah.
Yeah.
At least I have a nice copy of Type 0.
That's true. And some tarot cards, right?
Yeah,
Got those little summon cards that
and
came
some
in.
of those.
So story-wise, you don't know what the fuck's going on. Gameplay-wise, it's all new to you. I think it plays kind of like Kingdom Hearts, though, doesn't it?
It does play a lot like Kingdom Hearts. You can switch weapons with Noctis pretty quickly because he has like a 4-slot thing that you switch weapons with the D-pad.
Right, yeah.
I don't know if you were able to mess with the magic system in the demo because I haven't played it.
Not at all.
Not at all? Okay. Well, in that live trailer that it showed that you watched, that bomb thing, that was magic.
Oh, was that a fire spell?
Yeah. Basically what happens is you get these like magic flasks which hold a spell inside of it, and you drop magic from the world.
Yeah.
And then it's not as bad as 8. It really fucking isn't.
Do you not remember us talking about this, Joe? Drawing it from certain areas.
I think, we did talk about
They're
it.
all over. They're all over the place. And it really,
sure they are.
Oh, wait, yeah,
They
they draw points,
Are
and
they-
then if you junction
Okay.
a certain
You don't
summon
junction-
to you can just mash the X button around the map until you find a
You
draw
don't do
point.
that shit at all.
Are there
Okay.
invisible places to get it?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I guess, yeah.
But if you don't like having to draw stuff over and over again, at these draw points, you get like half the magic in one pull. So, like out of your 99 slot, you get like 34 or
so
54.
it's not,
or
it's
like,
not a random number at a time between 1 and 10.
Yeah, it gives you a bunch of them. You can select how much magic you want to put into the flash to like gauge its potency, and then you can mix the spells together. You can mix items in there to add like certain effects, like quadruple cast, double cast. Add poison effect to it, or add a healing effect to your like fire spell or some shit. It's pretty sweet. And then you kind of toss it around, and you have to be careful because you can hit your allies with it.
Oh, wow.
Oh my
Which
God.
Friendly
I
fire.
have done, and it is annoying when they get caught on fire. So,
I can see that.
You got to stop, drop, and roll mechanic.
yeah, but your guys are basically immortal, so it's kind of really easy. Unless you're fighting something that is way higher level than you.
Yeah.
And then most of the hunts in the game have been higher level than me, which you kind of have to take on a different tactic for. I did like the wall hanging thing where you like go above them and then just like strike them with the teleport slash over and over and over again, because you just heal from the thing and then you go down and dive bomb them. And then when you encounter enemies, they have like a certain field of combat. It's like basically a little circle you see on the map, and you can leave that area and all your dudes will be healed. And then you can go back in and kill the enemies because they do not respawn and their HP goes up very slowly. And I have used that on some very difficult
Sounds like
hunt
a
enemies.
the mat sort of situation.
Yeah, and there was one thing that I came across when I was trying to pick up an item, which aren't in treasure boxes or anything. They're just kind of little glowy items out on the world.
Oh yeah, we saw those in the demo.
Yeah, and I walked up to one, and then all of a sudden I was in 3 enemy fields crossing over, and I was in the middle part of it. And it won't let you pick anything up while you're in battle. And I was like, oh my god, I just want to pick up this fucking item. And the enemies were all on the far sides of their little enemy circles. And I was like, God fucking damn it, I have to go search for these guys to get this fucking item, and it was not worth it. It was a potion.
But you never know.
You never know, so you gotta fucking pick it up.
That's one thing I liked about the system they had in 12. Like, when you're in battle, you can still grab stuff. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but you can still, like, pull your guy towards it and, like, pick up the treasure chest and get the fuck out.
Yeah.
All I want to know, because I haven't heard anything, is there an opening cutscene?
Yes, there is.
Is it awesome?
It's pretty sweet.
Okay, good. All right,
good.
We're in a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's all you wanted to know.
That's all I wanted. Well, I've actually heard the opposite. I think it was Scalia from Limit Break Radio. I started following on Twitter.
Yeah.
And he said it was more like FF11 in terms of levels than it was FF14 in terms of levels with 15. And I took that to say, like, shit's difficult, like, and the levels are
it is
super important.
It is an action RPG, so levels kind of don't matter as much.
Oh, so you're saying the exact opposite of what
So basically,
I got from the tweet.
So basically, how you level up is you kill things and you gather a bunch of experience, but the experience doesn't level you up immediately. You kind of just bank it until you either camp or go to a hotel.
Right,
and
we saw
when
that
you,
in the demo, yeah.
Yeah, when you sleep, there are certain areas which can, like, double your XP, which is fucking fantastic. And
whoa. So, like, are we talking, like, going to a fucking Hilton? Is that what's happening here?
Basically, yes. There is, like, a hotel you find early on that doubles your XP, and you get it for free at one point. So just be aware of that.
Doubles your XP.
Yeah, it doubles the XP that you get at the end of the day. Basically, at night, there are demon things that come out, and they're way higher level than you at the beginning, and then you can take them out after you leveled up a little bit. So the levels do matter in some ways, but it depends mostly on, like, the things that you're picking when you get AP.
Yeah.
So, like, the abilities and stuff like that, which you get for doing pretty much anything in the world, like camping or fishing or whatever.
Yeah. You can level grind by fishing in this game, by the way, Joe. Just keep that in mind. And there are some fish that give you some pretty good XP, apparently.
What?
Yeah. Oh my so there's a reason to do the mini games.
Yeah, the mini games and the hunts are really what level you up the most. The biggest tactic is to just bank all your XP and then save up money for the double XP hotel, basically.
Nice.
Hey, so I was going onto the forums. I just saw my dad called me, and I was like, "That's weird. My dad never calls me." Okay,
that is strange. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Let's have a heart to heart.
Yeah, and then with the
do you think I have ADD?
Do you have ADD?
Yeah.
I don't think you do. No.
This is from a master ADD man.
A master ADD?
Yeah.
Shouldn't you be asking Cam then?
I don't know, man. Cameron's is very apparent, but we feel like yours may be crippling.
Crippling?
Yeah. It is perhaps why you are you.
Fuck you.
In fact.
So I don't know how many people responded to this thread. It looks like we got 2 people that responded.
The 15 thing?
Yeah. And this was on the forums, thoughts about 15 spoiler free. And so to me, guys, this is sort of like a first glimpse into FF15 from someone who hasn't played it yet, and I really want to.
Yeah.
And we're hearing some of your thoughts here. So Alistar, who I haven't seen on the forums for a while, so thank you for posting, Alistar, says, we've had hours and hours of 15 now. What do you all think? I have to say I'm enjoying it a lot, but it's pretty disappointing. You can really tell that the game is a result of being pulled in every direction for 10 years, which I believe is something that was a problem with 13 and with 12. So it doesn't surprise me that 15's also in the same realm. Is it flawless?
12. No.
You ranked it top, right? Top rank?
It's top 4.
Okay. I don't think it was on your rankings.
Will it be higher when you get the Zodiac edition and then you get trophies?
7, 6. It was 7, 6, 10, 12, 9.
It was better than I remembered it being, to be honest. I really was not enjoying it until I got to Disgaea, which was, of course, the demo.
Yeah.
Then it opened up a bit more, and I also got used to warping around like a madman and had fun with the combat, despite how shallow it is. I'm on chapter 8 so far. Oh, there's chapters?
15.
Yes.
No.
Yep.
No. Yeah, baby. They pulled
Back
one
to
of
that
those?
shit. Yeah.
God damn it. All right. Chapter 8 now so far, there's very little story to speak of, and I think if I hadn't watched Kingsglaive, then I'd have no idea what the fuck was going on. I think I watched a review on like GameSpot or something that said the last third of the game was the linear story part, and that the beginning was, it's like the opposite of 13.
Where everything's open.
Everything's open for like a little bit at the end, and
I can kind of see that. There was one chapter that is literally called the open world.
Says it's insanely poorly executed.
Oh, is that what that is?
What?
I see with this game, we see like updates on PlayStation 4 when they're playing, and one of them said the open world, so I thought that was like them just wandering.
The third chapter is called the open world.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
That mashed up rapid montage of the movie's events early on was the stupidest thing I've ever seen in terms of storytelling.
What?
So you don't even know what he's talking about. Okay. And very little development going. I will say that I absolutely love the bromance aspect of the story. I'm surprised by how much I like the 4 protagonists and the bond they share. The James Bond. Oh,
the James
God,
Bond?
that's disgusting. They share a James Bond.
Yeah.
The bond they share is executed really well in comparison to everything else. I'm particularly impressed by how chill Noct is, who strikes a much better first impression than Lightning. I think ultimately the game fell victim to open world meme. It's pretty clear Square Enix noticed how popular it was during the crazy development of this game, that they were becoming popular, went for it, in my opinion, without really understanding how it's done. It's a stunning world, I'll give it that, but they kind of fucked every other aspect about it up. They saw how Ubisoft in games like Witcher 3 had a big map with icons on them declaring up and misread the fine details. You've got fucking treasure, in quotes, icons that lead you to mega potions, FFs, and mineral deposits that you can safely ignore, which leaves the heavens, which are legitimately useful, and outposts, which give you items and side quests / hunts. There is a fuck ton of side quests in this game. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is it mostly a side quest game?
Yes.
Okay, that's why I gave myself 3 months. This is a fuck ton of side quests in this game, and all so far have felt like a chore, very unrewarding. Do you agree with that statement?
Yeah, there are some really hard hunts, and really all they give you is some gil, and then you get like a phoenix down as a reward.
Oh,
they don't really give you any like weapons or anything really cool.
That's like what was awesome about the 12 hunts.
Yeah, it's literally all just, hey, we'll give you a phoenix down, and if you do like a really hard quest, we'll give you like
says
a
I
mega
want
phoenix.
something better than mega pots by the time I'm rank 3. Jesus, that's what he says. And they vastly outnumbered the story quest so far. It seems no great exaggeration to say the majority of this game is padding. This all sounds like I'm blasting the game, but I'm enjoying it in spite of itself. The brothers are fun characters. Okay, the combat can be a blast. I know it's divisive, but I love how magic works in this game. More than most other FF games. At the rate it's going, though, it probably won't rate very high, despite not being a bad game. The soundtrack is fucking amazing. What's his last thing?
Cool.
Isn't the soundtrack amazing?
It's pretty
I haven't even
good.
played the fucking game. I know the soundtrack's goddamn amazing.
I know it's really good, and then they have the best songs from all the other Final Fantasies. So that's kind of like, hey.
Hey, how is driving the car?
You mean the thing that drives itself?
Yeah, how is it?
It drives itself. Even when you're driving, you literally just hold down R2 and it drives itself. It sticks to the road.
Oh.
You can't control it?
You can control it if you want to, but if you just hold down R2, it'll just go along the road.
Right.
So you
So
go,
like wherever path
can you off-road?
chose. Yeah, at some points, but not
Then
really.
you have to fix the tire.
It won't really let you do too much. Like it damages the car if you kind of go off-road.
Okay.
Yeah, and then occasionally there will be like animals and things that will run across the road.
Okay, I got a totally different opinion from someone else. The Trooper 4 says, I will say that I am in Chapter 3 right now. So far, I'm really in like right now with how 15 has turned out. It does seem like an amazing game. The road trip aspect of it with the main 4 bros is really casual and interesting as far as 2 to 3 minute car rides go. I'm not a fan of how magic works in 15. It's really overpowered when group content comes along. Fucking Imperial Magitech always complicating your hunts, but seems to serve any purpose in boss fights from what I've seen so far.
Many purposes, probably.
Probably not any service. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Probably just missed a word there. As a longtime Final Fantasy lover, though, I love this game. The battle system I was skeptical at first with, but I have come around to enjoy it. Although it seems it might get a little repetitive later on. Nox Warp Strike is definitely fun to mess around with alongside of the various techs each party member has throughout the tech tree. I really enjoy playing this game right now.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
Yeah, thanks for your thoughts, guys. It's always good to hear stuff about a game that we haven't played yet. Joe and I, of course. Caleb has.
How about Felicia Nomiko's comment?
What she got?
Do you want to read that?
Yeah, hand that shit over.
Okay.
I would also say I like it, though I am not as awed by it as I thought I might be. It's a decent game. The combat system is good, though I hate that I am relegated to being the party healer when I really want to deal damage.
It was sweet.
I think that might smooth itself out once I figure out the AP system. I like the AP system, but it has a bit of a learning curve to it. The troopers are killing me. I think I need to really power up my magic because it's about the only thing I can do when 20 of them are dropped on me. I have to agree that there is very little story. And if you didn't watch the supplemental media, you would be so lost right now. I do like how big the world is.
Just caught Caleb's eye right there.
I enjoy hunts and the side quests, but I actually wish there was more to do. I guess I've played too much Bethesda because I dislike the little sparks that tell you where stuff is. I wish it was just the stuff sitting there, even though the spark is standard FF stuff. I find myself wishing there was something to find out in the world that wasn't related to a quest. To be fair, there might be non-quest stuff to find, I just haven't found it yet. The only other gripe I have is the dead time in this game. The few second moments that are there for seemingly no reason. Like when you pick something up, it has to pause everything, tell you what it is, and then you get to move again. Or the little animations for getting into and out of the car, filling the gas tank, leave the one with Cindy doing it, and take all the other ones out. The pauses for menus to come up and put you in a little tableau when you talk to people at diners for hunts and food. There are just a million little pauses and beasts that do nothing but slow the game down and break immersion. Other than those things, those horrible, horrible things, the music is great, the graphics are good and smooth, the combat is fun and dynamic. I love that you can just run out of combat when you need to. I like the world thus far, and I think I'll like it a bit more once I settle into it and get over the learning curve. Gameplay-wise, this is a strong entry. The map is big enough that you feel like you can actually explore without being so big you want to shoot your own brains out when you travel. Final Fantasy XI. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your thoughts, guys. I do wonder, having not played the game, of course, and just hearing your guys' opinions, it seems like, in general, it's good, and that there's a lot of problems with it at the same time. And I'm also saying that maybe they overcorrected from FF13.
Maybe.
Of course, I always thought FF13 was an overcorrection of FF12.
Yeah, the hallway,
which was also not loved by
and then you
fans of the series.
And then you realize that 12 can't be corrected. For who can correct perfection?
You keep saying that like it's the top of your list.
Perhaps I only made the list the way it is to appease the fans.
Yeah.
Are you saying that 12 is actually the top of your list and that everything else was a lie?
12 might be my favorite, but I don't think it's the top of the list. The list is a different sort of dynamic to me.
Okay.
Best Final Fantasy and favorite Final Fantasy don't have to be the same. I've played 12 for a long time, though.
I feel like everybody bitched about 13.
Yeah.
And, bitched about how linear it was.
Yeah.
How much story content it was while also being paper thin story.
Yeah, somehow.
Mind you. And this sounds like an overcorrection. This sounds like, wow, there's like, the story is like nothing, but there's a shitload of stuff to do.
Yeah.
That's
12.
There is a ton of stuff to do.
That's what 12 was, and it was 13 was definitely a correction from that. I wanted to go kind of back to what everyone loved, Final Fantasy X.
Yeah.
Except they didn't get
Final Fantasy X also a hallway?
It is, but it's a really
that's what
good
he's
hallway.
saying. The difference is that FF10 is a better hallway.
It's
than 13.
13 is like this gaudy hallway, and 10 is just
this
like
hallway
beautiful.
that has like a big open area at one point, and then just goes back to being hallway.
Like FF10 is like a pristine mountain trail.
Yeah, or like a beautiful gothic building, whereas 13 was more of like
on either side.
like a burned out granary, right? Where it's you still have like only one path you could take, but everything around you is just like.
We did give 13 a relatively positive
We did,
review,
yes, but
so sometimes we say those things and we don't actually mean them.
Yeah, keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind when you're listening and you're like, oh, you said this.
Oh, you know what?
I like 13.
Yeah, me too.
Speaking of Final Fantasy X, there was a moment in 15, that legitimately pissed me off.
Is anybody disappearing
because of Final Fantasy X? No, it's the weird clothes. Okay, so
wait.
Everybody just wears normal clothes, and then I get to this one city, and then all of a sudden
Cindy.
they're wearing like overalls that like go right under to where their underwear is.
Nice.
So like the panty area is being shown on some women while also wearing overalls that just have this massive hole in that crotch area.
That sounds amazing.
It's really fucking weird, and the only thing that I could think of
if you have
is
a
like
thing for overalls, yeah, I guess.
it's like it's just Final Fantasy X clothing, and I was like, I did not see this coming at all in this game.
God,
everybody else,
fucking damn it, Nimura!
Did you see
everybody
yourself
else wears
coming
pants
after seeing
and a
Cindy?
shirt, and then these people were gonna wear weird fucking
They're
overalls.
freaks. It's the freak nation.
It's in just one town. I was like, oh.
They're all
okay,
mechanics,
fine.
but they need crotch air. They need to like air it out because it's hot in there.
Yeah,
Is
It's a
that
desert.
like where the Poligs live?
It was like a fucking slum city.
Oh, really?
Is that a
Basically.
Utah-centric joke?
I
think
so.
it might be.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But that's just where all the auto mechanics live. And it gets real hot under those cars because they're
No, Cindy is the only one outside of that area that wears weird clothing.
Does Cindy still look the same as... I mean, a lot of people attacked Cindy's highly sexualized image.
I mean, I attacked something.
Her,
but it wasn't
I will
her.
say that her jacket does not fit her if she were to zip it up.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is zipped down
It's a Vaughn
because
jacket?
it will not fit.
it's a Vaughn vest.
But
yeah,
do you want it to fit? Do you really?
not really, no.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I don't want
That's what
anything to. I don't want anything to fit.
Neither does Prompto.
Oh, you want something to fit.
Oh, touche. Neither does Prompto, huh?
Yeah.
Z. Oh, that's
Dirty, dirty young man.
I think this game should be remade with us as the characters, the Nude Clan, just like all four of us.
Oh, that
Yeah.
game would be rated M.
that would be AO, man.
I don't think it would be AO. Unless
would
you
have
guys
to
have been
be
like
some-
anally raping each other while I've been gone.
That's what the hotel scenes are
You
for.
can't rape.
Oh,
you can't
okay.
rape the willing.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Well,
First
you know,
off.
just pretending, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, he really wants it.
man, that's probably the most fucked up thing I've ever said on Ultima.
You can't rape the willing.
I think so. Yeah. Although it's technically true. I mean, if Caleb is willing to receive my penis, it's not raping Caleb.
It's not rape.
It's just Caleb wanting to be pleased.
Yeah, that's consensual.
I would
If it's
never.
consensual,
I would not go near that thing. First
unless
off.
it's statutory.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But Caleb is of age.
He does kind of have a baby
contrary
face.
to popular belief, I'm sure.
The girl at the fucking movie theater thought I was his dad.
Oh yeah, that
which
was
I'm
funny.
still not happy about.
Oh, I know you aren't.
Is
Old
it
man.
like, okay, so does Caleb look 14 or do I look 45? Which one is it?
Maybe it's a combination of the two. Maybe it's old man Joe.
And it's not the first time someone's been like, you're only 20? It was like, if you like, you're only 22? I'm like, yeah, you're only 22. That always feels like, fuck, what am I going to look like when I'm actually middle-aged? Am I going to be like, yeah.
Well, she asked to see your ID
How old are
too,
you?
which was weird.
How old are you? You're like 60? No, I'm not fucking 60, man. Yeah.
I don't know. It's that pale redhead flesh just gets burned and singed and.
I haven't gotten
aged.
burned and singed that much, so.
I don't know then.
In the end of my life, I'll have much less sun damage than you will.
You think so?
Yeah, because I haven't been out in the sun as much because of the skin.
And he has a full head of hair.
And I also have a full head of hair. And I probably will have a full head of hair up to the time when I'm like in my mid-60s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Based on
hair is for women, so you guys can have
hair
that.
is for women.
Yeah, it is. Look, they have
It
long
is
locks.
literally for everyone.
Hair on the head.
Oh, every mammal.
Hair on
yes,
the
every
hair.
mammal.
Hair is
Look.
for mammals.
Hair on the head is for female humans. It's not for men. Men deserve.
Keep on saying that to
Look,
make yourself
man.
feel better. I
I'm
think
telling
you.
you.
I think you
Rogaine?
got a good skull, and don't
Exactly.
try Rogaine. Jesus Christ!
It doesn't work.
First
Caleb.
off, get over it. Second off, you'll look pretty badass with your head.
Exactly, because I'm a man.
But
You're
you don't
supposed
have
be
to
bald.
say that just because you're going to have your head shaved doesn't mean you have to tear down all the people who have their beautiful hair still.
No, look. Look here. You guys can go fuck yourselves first.
No,
off.
you could just.
You know
wear,
who would look terrible with their head shaved? Me. And
Yeah,
you know who
I
would
would
look
too.
worse? Caleb. We've
Yeah.
seen him with his
Yeah.
head
He
shaved.
looks like a
it was-
pimple.
it was
That's
bad.
true.
Looks terrible. So hopefully Caleb doesn't lose too much of his hair.
I do feel ripped off here though, because I'm the only one out of all of us that has no gray hair anywhere. Not a single fucking gray hair. I'm fine, except it's not fucking here. So we're all just screwed. We're either gonna go gray or we're gonna go fucking
Gray
skin.
is dignified.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna have the.
Yeah, but it makes you look old. Like we all look like fucking old men. I'm gonna have old man
I
hair.
don't actually look like old men.
Dude, they thought you were his fucking
Okay,
dad.
you know what? That fucking
I'm gonna
16
be-
year
He
old
is older than you.
Yeah, that's true.
He is older.
That was why it was so funny.
And also her reaction when I was like, "What the fuck? What? I'm sorry. I just."
There was just a fleeting moment where you looked the same.
Jesus. Oh. I'm glad I bring about a fatherly presence.
Yeah, you were probably like, Caleb, get over here right now.
Son.
You were probably bossing him around right before that, and you just forgot because it's like standard procedure, or else he'll like go get killed. In
I think we
traffic or
were
something.
arguing about something before we were going into the movie theater.
I'm going to talk to your mother when we get home about this.
Yeah, you were just fucking around, and then you get super pissed at the chick for like assuming that just because of what you said. Nice.
I don't think I look 45, do I?
No, you don't look 45.
That's how old I would have to fucking be.
To be the father of a 15-year-old?
Not necessarily.
You
could be
would have
30.
to. Well, let's split the difference. Let's say, how young could Caleb have possibly looked?
I don't know.
Maybe 16.
You think so?
Maybe
Sheriff?
16. Okay.
When? How long ago was this?
Like a year and a half?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could probably do that. You could probably pull it off.
Okay.
Pull up 16?
Yeah.
And how old can I pull off? 35?
Man, that's tough because
Yeah,
there
I
are
think
some
you do
people
35.
that I know that probably look younger than most of us, actually, and they're in their 40s. So
they probably take care of themselves or some bullshit like that.
Or they're just vampires. They're just fucking undead. They're thousands of years old.
God, I'm still pissed off about that. Jesus.
I remember that and laugh every time.
I want to get to the part in Final Fantasy 15 when Gladiolus is... It's like, oh, are you his father?
Yeah, you're like,
and
what?
Gladiolus is like, I'm like 2 years older than him. What the fuck?
Well, you're so much larger. Yeah, because I'm not a bitch. Sorry, Noct. I'll handle this. No, we're going to have that experience in the game, and then Noctis is going to look back on it and laugh himself. It's going to be good
I was
times.
the young one.
Yeah. And now I'm the fucking king, and I hate my life.
Like, does everybody...
He's not like emo, like I thought he was gonna be.
Yeah,
it's not like all broody and stuff like
the outfit,
and Squall, and
the outfit
Lightning
was 2006. The emo thing was in. The hair.
I wouldn't call Lightning brooding.
She's just
depressed, but not brooding.
I would say very violent,
abrasive.
Very abrasive,
yeah.
like someone that you kind of want to get with, but they want to kind of, they want to beat you down
like
first.
Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, like Sigourney Weaver. She's going to kill you if you're an alien, but you still sort of want her.
That's why Snow went for Sarah. It's because he's like too afraid to go for Lightning.
Yeah, because Lightning could take his fucking tank ass down is why.
Yeah.
Sentinel only lasts so long when I'm Army of Wanting.
You know what? We should
talk about Final
Anything
Fantasy.
else you want to say about 15? Any impressions about it before we move on? And before we actually play the games ourselves?
Oh, shit. We have a voicemail that talks about 15's first impressions, too.
Oh, fuck.
So finish yours up, and we'll listen to that.
Well, I don't really have anything much to say, but in response to Felicia saying that you can't really just explore and find the stuff, it points it to you. It does, but you also have the diners. When you ask them for information, it pops everything up for you. It tells you that. That's how information pops up. They tell you where things are.
Oh, so kind of like in the olden games.
You can just explore and go for it, but you can also just ask the diner people.
It's like old school RPGs where you go into the tavern and you talk to people and they fucking chit chat and you find shit out.
Yeah, you get all the information from the restaurants, which is odd to me.
Yeah, but small talk. They're like, "Oh, did you hear about that hunt? 50 million or something."
Yeah, and it's always
you're just standing right above them.
and instead of having a bunch of different restaurants, it's one fucking diner.
Oh, really?
In every goddamn town. I would rather it be a McDonald's in every town. That would make more sense to me than just some random diner in every fucking town.
Well, I'm sure they should have some sort of movement within the game, claiming that diner is trying to ruin the country's culture. It's removing small town fucking burger joints and stuff like that to have one standard.
Dude, you can even take a picture with the little crow thing that's their mascot, and sitting on a bench with its wing around you.
Wow.
You can just sit down and take pictures with it.
It is McDonald's then.
Yeah, it's totally McDonald's, but
McDiner.
it's a diner. Yeah.
McDiner. All right, let's hear what Joe from Michigan has to say about Final Fantasy 15.
Hey guys, it's Joe from Michigan. I'm just calling with a quick synopsis on my first couple hours of playing Final Fantasy 15 last night. I dove into the game. I was really excited. There was a huge download. I had 10 gigs or something ridiculous. So I'm like, wow, okay, I guess I'm waiting 45 minutes before I play the game. So sadly, I had to work. Wasn't able to get any time off, but I played for, about 2 hours, and I got really upset really early. This is going to be spoiler-free. I'm not going to spoil anything, not that there's anything to spoil in what I did. But I'm really upset that you just don't have any money. It's the game kind of starts, and when it finally lets you go free, they're like, yeah, you need to go do stuff for money. I'm the prince. You're sending me over here to marry this person to save our country. There was just this speech about how important it was, and now what? You're fucking, what? Nope, we're not giving any money. Hop in this jank-ass car that breaks 10 minutes in and fucking go. What? I'm the prince. Give me a credit card or some bullshit. Even if credit cards don't exist, I should be able to be like, yeah, bill it to the fucking king. Like, you're mildly important. Throw him some shekels before he goes on this random-ass journey. Other than that, which really bugs me, I love the combat. The combat is great. I think it's very fluid. It's fun. It's fun to watch. It's fun being able to interact with your team and mildly interact with the environment. The creatures look good. It was good fighting. I wish there was a bit more reason for me to be fighting. I think that's really good. I think that they're trying very, very hard to show how open world the game is. And I think that they could have toned that down a little bit. But other than that, the first 2 hours, I actually enjoyed. But I really wish that there was a bit more substance to it. Usually, like, the first few hours of, like, a Final Fantasy are very, like, heavy. I feel like there weren't a whole lot of introductions. I went into the game blind. I didn't watch the anime. I didn't watch Kingsglaive or anything like that. I just wanted to go into the game kind of raw because that's how I went into every game before. There hasn't been all this other bullshit. And honestly, I don't even really understand his friends, if they're friends or if they're bodyguards, or like the one dude's kind of an asshole, Angus or whatever the fuck his name is. I don't know, they don't really say the names a whole lot so far, but fucking he's just like, well, I cook and I should drive because I'm better at it. And it's like, oh, okay. And then the one dude's like wicked buff and wearing leather pants, and you're like, oh, I'm just uncomfortable by you in general. So I'm not sure what their character progression. I'm hoping there's going to be a lot more in the coming days of me playing the game, and then I'll be able to hit it real hard this weekend. But so far, I feel like that there's a lot of open world with a lot less story than I was kind of hoping for. Some for a little bit more depth when I dove in. But I still really like the combat, and I really enjoyed the voice acting. I think it's interesting. It wasn't bad, so that was good. I will say I enjoyed it. I don't know if I enjoyed it for the right reasons, but I did enjoy it. But those are my first opinions. Thanks, and I'll talk to you guys next time.
Thank you very much,
Joe.
from Michigan.
You Joes are all the same. You never listen.
What are you saying?
I told you, motherfuckers, watch Kingsglaive, watch the anime, and then play the fucking game. But no.
I didn't do it on purpose.
No one.
Don't fault them.
I'm just kidding. You actually did listen. It's fine, Joe. I'm kidding. It's all a joke. We're all friends here, except for Craig. We're all friends. No, I would definitely check out Kingsglaive and the anime. It's a lot of good supplemental material. As we said, Kingsglaive is also a wall of, but you get used to it after the second watch, and you kind of get an idea of what's going on. And
in order to truly understand a movie, you have to watch it twice.
Yeah, unfortunately,
in order to understand the game,
you have to play it twice. Fuck. But yeah, thanks for your thoughts, man. We really appreciate you, especially for using the phone line.
Yes.
We need more of that shit. So we do have a couple questions here to answer before we wrap things up. So I'm going to dive right into that. All right, so we have two questions here today. The first one is titled, Absence Makes the Heart Grow Fonder.
Abstinence.
Question mark? December 3rd, Batman 2J. A strange thing happened to me the other day. I was at GameStop picking up my copy of FF15 and Collector's Edition, of course. Collector's Edition Strategy Guide, sorry. When the associate asked me if there was anything upcoming that I would like to pre-order. I asked if Final Fantasy XII was available for pre-order without even thinking. The associate told me there were not any pre-orders yet, but to check back. As I was getting into my pickup truck, I had a sudden realization. Did I just really ask to pre-order Final Fantasy XII? As you guys know, I have a very strong opinion of Final Fantasy XII, and I believe this game was the genesis of my love-hate relationship with broken glass and rusty butter knives. Deep pull. That being said, am I really considering playing that game again? What has changed? I still find the story to be lackluster and confusing. I still think the license board is tedious, even for a person who usually enjoys grinding. And don't get me started on the treasure system in this game with its annoying item percentages and respawns. Oh, and did I forget to mention the incredibly ridiculous ultimate weapon chest that only appears by not opening treasure chests? With all of that being said, I still want to replay the damn game. I have no idea why. Maybe Final Fantasy XII was ahead of its time, and I am now more accustomed to the battle system / character customization than I was upon its release. Maybe the tedious aspects of Final Fantasy XII don't seem as bad anymore after taking 100,000 steps on a chocobo in Final Fantasy XIII 2, or completing the sphere grid for every fucking character in Final Fantasy X in an effort to earn a platinum trophy. Yes, maybe the story in Final Fantasy XII isn't as bad as I remember after pouring through countless data log entries. Maybe Schweiss's love for the game has swayed me. As I ponder the reasons I would want to subject myself to the torture I remember from Final Fantasy XII, I have an epiphany. I have only played through Final Fantasy XII one time when it first came out. By the time I play it again, it will have been around 11 years since my first playthrough. Is it possible that the further I distance myself from Final Fantasy XII experience, the more I can appreciate the fun aspects of the game and less on the aspects that irritate me? Or is it possible that as the FF series has evolved, so have my expectations of each game? Do you guys think that as time passes and the series moves in different directions, that your own opinions of the games and Final Fantasy game rankings can change as well? Who knows, maybe in another few years you guys might be sitting around saying, man, that FF8 soundtrack was really something else. I wonder if I can find the Esthar theme ringtone. That is like a secret code to fucking activate a sleeper.
I would shoot myself in the face.
Yeah. I know there is a lot here to digest, but I would be curious to hear your thoughts. Oh, and I will be getting Final Fantasy XII again, but I will make sure that rusty butter knife and broken piece of glass are handy. Just in case.
Oh, God.
Okay, I don't remember what the first half was about, but I will say yes. I feel like time does soften things. It also can make things fester with hatred, depending on the object at hand.
Yeah, Joe's hate for it, and then when he played it again, it wasn't as bad for him.
Right, but he was nearly in tears on multiple occasions over here, like trying to get past parts and just hating it, though.
It's true.
But I feel like time does heal all wounds except death. And in Final Fantasy XII's case, maybe it was ahead of its time. I feel like a lot of the stuff in that game was very interesting and super new. Stuff I had never even seen in a video game before when I first played Final Fantasy XII on release. I, of course, loved it. For maybe not the right reasons at the time. I thought the story was much better than it is. But I still love the gameplay. I still think it holds up. And I'm glad you're considering looking back on it. Now, as far as what changed, I feel like it's probably one of the games in the series that, I mean, you said you've only played it once, Batman, and because of that, I feel like you feel as if you're not giving it a fair assessment, because a lot of Final Fantasy fans will play these games over and over and over again, and then have a true connection to the series and to each entry of the series. And maybe that's something that you don't have with 12 that you do have with the rest of the entries. Maybe it's that. I do feel like some of the stuff was ahead of its time. And, I mean, I would like to think that a lot of it is because of how much praise I give it, you know?
Because of your praise?
Yeah, I feel like...
Oh, God.
I feel like that's probably about 85% of the reason why he's going back.
85% of it?
And the rest of the 15% is the fact that he's only played it one time. That's about 5%. And then the 10% that remains is the platinum trophy that he's willing to play Final Fantasy X to get the platinum on, and that's fucked up. That's a lot of time.
I would probably agree that trophies play into why anyone would want to replay a game that they've played before. Another reason is that
I like the game.
Well,
Yeah,
he
but
said
he
that
didn't.
he doesn't like the
Right.
game. Another
Yeah.
reason would be that you've seen that it's going to be the Zodiac edition, the one that we didn't play before, that has
Right.
kind of like the job systems and everything.
That
And that's-
version has gotten a lot of praise.
and that's something that I was interested in, and I want to play, and I will play. And I think that is something that is going to be drawing people in, especially after 15's coming out, and they're going to be like, oh, 12 is getting an HD remaster, and it's the one that we in the US never got to play. So,
And it's also a very difficult game to play. I mean, it's only got the PlayStation 2 release. That's it.
yeah.
Final Fantasy 9 is more accessible than Final Fantasy 12 is.
Yeah.
It's on the PSN.
It's
Final
on
Fantasy
PSN.
12 is PS2, and that's it.
It's like the only game that you can't get in any way.
Yeah, it's
outside of on PS2.
Right, and a lot of people don't have PS2s anymore, so maybe that's part of it too, is the fact that, you feel this pull because you fucking sold your PS2.
Sold your soul.
And you don't have it have access to the game anymore. But I feel like Trophies is a good one. That's the reason why I played that Prince of Persia game, was because I wanted to get a platinum. Like,
At
it was super
15
easy.
doesn't seem like it has that hard of a platinum trophy.
I know, I looked.
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
Okay, you've
I'm
been
gonna
like
have to-
avoiding stuff, but you seem to have you have a lot of knowledge about this game.
Well, Dwayne talks.
Oh, he just talked.
I'm going to have to look at the hidden
Talk,
trophies,
boy.
but from the ones that I have and other
That's probably
ones
what I
that,
said before in the movie theater.
it shows like it doesn't seem to be that difficult. So
Yeah, I think we'll be able to manage it. Yeah, I think those are probably the reasons why. What do you think, Joe? Why do you think he'd want to come back to 12 after not liking it too much? the first
I
time?
don't know. Maybe he's just heard your voice in his ear for too many hours, and it's caused him.
yeah, it's you
Problems.
blowing it.
Yeah. You
him
think so?
blowing it.
Yeah, he's
No,
blowing,
he's saying
blowing
my
12.
voice causes pain, so he's...
Blowing 12. I was like, what the fuck are you? All right. That makes
Joe's
sense
saying
now.
I basically made Batman soft in the head, and now he wants to play 12 again. See what kind of treatment we get from this man here?
I think 12 is better than I used to think it was.
Yeah.
Before we started the show, I had played it before.
Yeah.
And I had always left kind of a sour taste in my mouth, or a bitter taste in my mouth. And now, I think it's a solid game.
Yeah.
And maybe it was the hyper Shakespearean sort of language in some of the cutscenes that I didn't understand before. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe it was the idea that the world was so open and I'd been used to such a linear Final Fantasies. And of course, most of my gaming experience has been Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
I don't have like a whole bunch of gaming experience to pull from outside of some, notable big releases.
So 12 would be
mostly
just like
shooters.
blunt
So 12
trauma
was
for you.
it was like blunt force trauma. So yeah, I think it's worth another playthrough.
Yeah, awesome. Well, let us know what you think when you do go back through it, Batman. I'm sure that'll be when the PlayStation 4 re-release happens for Final Fantasy 12. It's scheduled for 2017. No official date yet. Got another one here from Joe from Michigan. Dun, 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 again.
Didn't we just talk to him?
We did. It's tactics we might need. So after listening to the last episode and hearing about the tactics you might need going away, I had a thought. What if you guys did tactics you might need, but from the other side? So when you start playing 13.2, people will write in tactics for you guys to use to help. Maybe it would help Joe be able to beat the final bosses.
Well, we did kind of just get one.
We did.
From Shinru.
And I do like the idea of this, and I feel like if more of you guys are playing these games alongside us, this will be even more useful. Even more of a reason to
You
go
can
onto the
skip Revenant
forums.
Wings. It's okay.
Even more of a reason
I'll forgive you.
to jump on the
What
site.
if they give you a tactic right now?
Shinru gave me a huge tactic.
But you just told them to ignore you.
No, I ignoring
have
the
to-
playing along with us with Revenant Wings. So play along with us with 15.
Yeah.
Playing along with us with 13.2 and 13.3.
And 14, get hyped for that. If you guys haven't
expansions,
if you guys haven't gotten to Heaven's Word
We
in
got a
14, you need to so that you can play with us when we get there.
We got 3
Did they
mass
announce
games.
that the new expansion?
Yes, they did. Yeah. It's going to be out in, I think, March or May of next year. I can't remember which one. It's around the same time we should be playing the game. So we'll have 2 expansions to go through this time as well,
Nice.
just like we did the last time. So that'll be fun. Get all of our 14 taken care of in a row, just done. So good stuff.
All right. Well, second we have for this week, Schweiss?
I think we have a review, actually.
Oh my
that
goodness.
we got to take care of.
Forgot.
Holy crap.
Forgetting all this shit. Yeah, holy crap. Caleb comes from a show that doesn't get reviews. So
I know. It's terrible.
It's
Not actually true. We got some this week.
We do have a couple
Oh,
this
nice.
week, but let's read this one here.
I dig this song from FF8.
Yeah.
Can I defend
It's
myself
like
here?
one of the 3 songs that are actually good from that.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. You know what sucks?
What?
Oh, yeah.
I had the Nude Clan review pulled up.
Oh, my God.
I
So we
would
have
like
to wait
to know
for
what
you
that
to
is.
find it.
It won't take me long. You don't know what that is? Is that what you just said?
No, I said I would like to know what that is.
Oh, you will.
Soon. Yes.
All right, so this week we have one review. It's a 5-star review submitted by Frazier6557 on November
You
29th,
think he likes the show, Frasier?
2016. Maybe his name is just
His
Frazier.
name is just Frazier. Yeah.
It's titled Absolutely Fantastic. I had been looking for a FF podcast for a while after the FF15 hype train took off from the station. These guys are absolutely great, and I look forward to listening to them every week, especially so I can catch up on some of the games I didn't finish. The only thing I wish they'd add is a monster/boss of the week, where they talk about their favorite Final Fantasy monsters. I'm just interested in hearing what they like anyways. Keep up the great work, guys. You're awesome.
I don't know if I would do Monster of the Week, but we can certainly have some sort of episode about monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah, more than just Mythic Origins.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
I got to bring back the Mythic Origins. We've had a lot of content to go through the last while.
That is true, yeah. It's been
a busy
unusual,
fucking
right?
thing. Yeah, normally we're like, oh God, what are we going to do? What are we going to do?
What are we going to talk about today?
There's fucking nothing, man. Yeah, I don't think I've ever cried, but
You know, it's funny whenever you tell someone you have a Final Fantasy podcast, like, it's weekly. They're like, what? How can you guys talk for only Final Fantasy for that long?
it's like,
And of course, they're thinking that Final Fantasy is like 3 notable games.
yeah.
It's like, do you know how fucking huge this series is?
Yeah, and it takes us forever.
It's like 100 of them.
Or like how long the fucking games are? There's so much content.
Yeah, there's tons of stuff, dude. We're not even through the 7 content. Like,
No.
we still have like
That's
4 of
nuts.
those episode blah blah blahs to do.
Episode blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and then we have the
that what
10
they're called?
stuff. It
Yeah.
is exactly what they're called.
Okay.
And all that Final Fantasy 10, all sorts of theories that we could get into. Those were a lot of fun back in the day. Not as many, though, for the more recent Final Fantasies. Like the Necron stuff, the
They
Squall is
give too
Dead
much
theory.
shit away now.
Well, they write the story in a way that, you know, you can understand.
Doesn't leave anything
now.
open.
Yeah. Although I do like that Squall is Dead theory. That's a great episode, guys. If you haven't listened to it, it was a while ago. A couple of years ago, we released that. That's an interesting theory. And it makes 8 make a lot more sense for the last portion of it. It's very cool, but don't think it's
right.
true, but fuck it.
Well, I think that will actually be the end of the show, guys. Tell us how your 15 experience is going without giving us spoilers.
Right, and we did get the nominees for the Best Picture thing that we
you
talked
mean
about.
the FF Academy Awards?
The FF Academy Awards. I'm going to be putting up a poll for that after the episode.
Oh, you're going to do that this week? We should wait till we have the nominees together. Let's do that next week.
All right, you guys have one more week. I think we should do it along with our gaming thing that we do at the end of the year, the FF Podcast Awards.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, so we'll do it mid-December.
Yeah, mid-December, and we'll
Or
get a
late
hold of all
December.
the other podcasts. So keep in mind that's coming up. Get ready to vote for non-UFF podcasts, if there are any, and get excited for that stuff. But
non-UFF FF podcast.
Non-UFFFF, yes. Say that 5 times. But
Go ahead, Caleb.
No, I'm not even going to attempt it.
All right, fine. Well, until next time, guys, as always, enjoy the grind.
UltimaFinalFantasy.com.
This has been another production of Ultima Final Fantasy, the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast.
At Joseph
The show was
DeGaulier
produced by
on
Joseph
Twitter.
DeGaulier and Caleb Schweiss,
At
with
UFF
music and
Podcast.
editing by Joseph
Adam
DeGaulier,
Silva.
parodies and clips from their respective
The Godzilla
authors, of course.
Podcast.
You can get all of our episodes
support
as
us on
well as our Let's
Patreon.
Plays at UltimaFinalFantasy.com. You can also contact us on Twitter
Amazon
at UFF
link.
Podcast, as well as our contact page on our website. Be sure to subscribe and review our podcast. Your reviews may get read on the show, and look forward to the next episode. episode of Ultima Final
Solid Gold
Fantasy,
TV.
the Ultimate Final Fantasy podcast.
Goodbye.
Yes, goodbye.